You've been injured in an accident, and the last thing you need is to choose the wrong lawyer to help guide you through the legal process of getting compensated. Choosing the right injury lawyer for you in your situation, it's a major decision, and I want to help you make the right choice. There are 8 questions I believe every accident victim should ask before they decide who to hire to represent them. These are questions I came up with based on my 20 years experience as a personal injury lawyer myself. These are questions I would tell my own family and friends to ask if they were ever unfortunate enough to be injured in an accident. The first question is, who specifically will be handling your case? This question is so important because all your questions should be directed to the lawyer who has the primary responsibility for your case. Some lawyers who advertise on TV are not the actual lawyers you'll meet with or deal with. In fact, some lawyers you see on TV may simply refer your case out to another lawyer immediately. TV lawyers may be from another state and do not see clients here in Massachusetts. You may call the number they advertise and be dispatched to another firm with a different name in another state immediately. Absolutely insist on speaking with the lawyer who's going to be handling your case. Then ask the lawyer the questions that follow. If the firm you call can't accommodate this reasonable request, I strongly suggest you reconsider working with that firm at all. If something about that lawyer you saw on TV attracted you to call them, then that should be the lawyer that you discuss the case with before you make a decision on whether or not to hire. The second question, does the lawyer handle other areas of law in addition to injury cases? Just like no doctor can be skilled and competent in all areas of medicine, neither can a lawyer be expected to be a jack of all trades legally. With specialization comes competence over time. If the lawyer's website indicates that he or she handles a variety of cases in addition to injury law, for example, criminal law, bankruptcy, divorce, family law, real estate, etc., then the chances that they have limited experience and expertise in handling injury cases like yours. Look for a lawyer who handles personal injury cases exclusively. This tells you a few things about that lawyer. One is they've been successful enough representing just injured individuals that they don't need to take on any and all types of cases. They can sustain their practice by specializing in injury law. Second, it tells you the lawyer is committed to being an expert in one area of law. They can focus their attention on staying on top of the ever-changing body of injury law. Quite simply, they're more likely to spot and address important issues in your case than a general practitioner. You wouldn't go to a general practitioner doctor for a complicated surgery. The same rationale applies when choosing a lawyer for a serious injury case. The next question, what is the experience level of the lawyer that will be handling your case? Often you can learn much about a lawyer's experience level by simply reading their biography on their firm's website, including their education, general work experience. If such basic information is not available, I strongly suggest you ask for this information. You'll want to know the following before you make a decision to hire a lawyer. How long has the lawyer been practicing injury law? What type of training has the lawyer received? For example, did he or she apprentice under a skilled injury lawyer? Approximately how many injury cases has the lawyer handled to completion in their career? Do they have courtroom experience? Have they ever tried a case? If so, how many? Have they ever mediated or arbitrated cases? All important questions. The next question that you'll want answers to is, what is the lawyer's reputation? Today, more than ever, a lawyer's reputation in the legal community is publicly available. Through the advent of social media, client reviews can be found on sites such as Facebook, Avvo, and Google. See what other clients have to say about their experiences with the lawyer who may be handling your case. Much can be learned from client reviews about how a lawyer treats his or her client and the type of results he or she has achieved. In addition, see if the lawyer has ever been rated by an independent third-party organization, such as Super Lawyers, AVO, Best Lawyers. These organizations take the time and the effort to research lawyers, their skill levels, and they solicit peer reviews from other practicing lawyers in an attempt to find the most well-respected attorneys in a particular area of law. Finally, assure yourself that the lawyer that will be handling your case has not had any disciplinary problems with the Board of Bar Overseers for ethical violations. You can search the lawyer's name through the Massachusetts Board of Bar Overseers website. The website is massbbo.org. By doing so, you will learn whether the lawyer is licensed to practice here in Massachusetts, whether he or she has ever had any disciplinary action taken against them, and this is important, whether they carry malpractice insurance in the event that they make a mistake on your case. Next question. What type of support staff does the lawyer have to assist him or her in handling your case? Great lawyers who do great work can't and don't do it all by themselves. A competent team is what you want to see in place. Do they have enough staff to efficiently handle their caseload? Look for staff with experience handling injury claims and whether or not they have any relevant prior training. For example, have they ever worked in the insurance industry? Have they worked for other injury lawyers? Also, is the lawyer sufficiently staffed to provide adequate client service? Solo practitioners with little or no staff may have exceptional legal skills, but if they're understaffed, they can easily get overwhelmed with paperwork, phone calls, and court appearances. When that happens, client responsiveness often suffers. You want to ensure your phone calls and emails get returned promptly, and more importantly, you want to know your case is progressing as quickly as possible toward a successful resolution. Adequate staffing is essential for a positive outcome. Ask your lawyer how many cases his or her office is currently handling, and how many staff members do they have. Another very important question you want to ask is, does the lawyer have the financial resources available to aggressively and adequately handle your case? Since personal injury lawyers work on a contingency fee basis, meaning we only get paid out of settlement proceeds if we're successful, they usually do not ask for money from clients up front. This means that the out-of-pocket expenses necessary to get your case to the finish line will be paid by the lawyer and then reimbursed if and only if the case results in a settlement or a verdict in your favor. If a lawyer does not have adequate financial resources to advance court costs, expert fees, deposition expenses, etc., your case may not get all the attention it needs and therefore not command the value it may deserve. Don't be shy about asking the lawyers how they handle these expenses. Do they finance the cases themselves? Do they have an adequate line of credit with a bank to cover large unexpected costs associated with your litigation? You deserve to know that your lawyer has the financial strength to put up an aggressive fight against a well-financed insurance company. Another question that needs to be asked is approximately how long will it take to get your case settled? Very important question. A number of variables impact the amount of time it takes to get a client's case settled, including the skill of the lawyer and the experience and number of staff assisting with the process. The timing can vary greatly from one law firm to another. You want to know approximately how long it's going to take to get your case to the settlement stage. The key question to ask is, how long from the time you are done with your medical care can you expect to know whether your case is likely to settle or not settle? You really shouldn't have to wait more than 45 to 60 days after your medical care is completed to know whether settlement is a likely option, or whether going to court is a necessary next step. Also, be sure to ask if the lawyer has ever handled cases identical to, or at least very similar to your case. Many accident scenarios are very common. While it may be your first, and we hope your last, accident, an experienced injury lawyer has probably seen and worked on cases very similar to yours many times. That's a good thing. Ask what their experience was and how the cases worked out. You wouldn't want a surgeon performing their first surgery on you, and you should feel the same way about a lawyer who has never handled a case like yours. And in conclusion, although it's not a question, it's extremely important to gauge how well you connect with that lawyer. Remember, you may have to interact with this lawyer extensively over a period of several months, or unfortunately, maybe even a few years. So how you feel about the lawyer and what type of connection you have been able to make during your meetings is so important, such an important factor to consider. You may have interviewed more than one lawyer that has answered all of your questions to your satisfaction, but one just didn't feel right. That's perfectly okay. Not everyone connects well with everyone. Your case is much more likely to proceed smoothly if you're dealing with someone who you're able to make a strong personal connection with. The decision to hire an injury lawyer is a big decision and one you want to get right from the beginning. We wish you the best in making the right choice, and if we can answer any question you may have, please do not hesitate to call me or text me at 617-889-5000.